Hello, this is part B. Just try and break up the video thing. So now I've got that. Now I think I'm going to try and get the Z-Man thing in. It's not going to be easy. It's really not going to be easy. Everything's being awkward. Again, I've got a default that if nothing works, I could just put that in the middle, and that would do the job. Don't want to do that. So let's just cut one of these Z-Mans up and see what happens. Right, I'm going to cut this up. Pause the video. You don't want to watch me cutting out. I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to try and give myself as much play as I can to the sides. Right, so I've cut this out, and that's the solution I've got for the long side, at least anyway. Right, and I might even end up just pushing them in a bit when I glue them in, I don't know. So that's an okay solution. Now you can think, you know, at the end of the day, you know, what have I got? I've had this bit and I thought, right, well I'll cut out the El Grande and I'll put the Z-Man on the end. That's all I've done. But you can see the process I've gone through to do it, and I'd highly recommend not going through the process that I go through, but to take those fundamentals of taking it easy, taking it slow, making decisions slowly. Don't rush to your decisions. Make decisions slowly. If you've got difficulties, think about them. Think about it all slowly, because on this side, this is far better than I ever imagined I was going to do it. Like blocking out those blue bits, which looks crap really close up, but from a distance you can't see it, and from a distance it looks grand. I mean, especially that one. That one looks quite good. But just goes to show the process. You've got to take it easy. Now, I still haven't resolved this side. Still got a problem there, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out the other side, so I've got the two long sides. I'm not going to glue it all on yet, because I'm going to wait until I've resolved everything before I glue stuff on. So I'm going to try and do to this one what I did to this one. See you later. Right, so here's an interesting bit. I cut out the other one for the long end. Now I'm working on this short end. Excuse me. Now I cut a little bit off the end of this one to try and maximise the amount of space I can have for this. So I think I can fit a Z-Man on there. I might have to cut another millimetre or something off there in order to get it right. But now I'm looking at this, and you know, I need to cut this the same thickness as this thing. But these are just the considerations I might put in. Again, you don't have to do this kind of stuff. It's just nonsense. But if I put that like in the middle of the height, why, focus, you dumb thing. Focus, please. Yeah, thank you. Now if I put that in the middle of there, I'm not sure how good that looks in relation to you know, the actual way it says the big box. So would it be better to actually bring that down so it's a bit lower, and then it would say El Grande big box Z-Man? Don't know. Or would it be better up there? So, you know, again, this is a tricky choice. So what I'm going to do, again, all these considerations, subtleties, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it as if it's in the middle along the bottom, but not cut it along the top. I'll just offer something up to hold it off like that, and then if I don't like it, I can move it down and I can cut it again. Do you see what I mean? Gonna muck around with that and see. Okay, that's what I went for. I went for the halfway house. So it's not brilliant. It's all a bit crushed in there, But no, I couldn't think of anything else to put on the end except the Z-Man. These things wouldn't look good. I think it's alright, I'll live with it. You won't see that side. Anyway, it's this side, it's the long side you're going to see if it's standing up. So I need to cut out that one, that piece the same as that, and then I've done all the sides. I'll do that. Right, so I've done all those bits. There. Now, I'm reasonably happy with that solution. In fact, I'm delighted. I didn't think I would get them as good as that. But that's a product of taking it slow and thinking. Now I still haven't finished, I've still got the top bit to do. But I'm happy with those, with the sides. So what I'm going to do, and because I'm happy with them, I'm just going to tidy up a bit here. Well, maybe, it's just such a mess. Right, and I'm going to glue those on. Now it's as simple, putting PVA glue on, it's as simple as putting PVA glue on them and sticking them on. Now sometimes these are quite hard to stick on. You might have to do a lot of pushing and a lot of rubbing in order to get them to stay on, and you might find that sometimes, I should have tidied up before I did this, but you know, they have a tendency to sort of lift like this, because when you put the glue on there it bends this way. So you would have thought it'd bend the other way, like shrinking it, but it bends that way. I don't understand why, but anyway. And so sometimes these might lift up, you might have to get a tool or something, you know, and you get some more glue in there and switch it around, and we'll see. So I'm going to glue these 4 on. I don't think you need to see those on the video, it's just gluing them on. Now I'm just putting this on, I'm just gluing this first one on. And I just thought actually it's worth just seeing me do one, and then I'll turn the camera off. So I put glue on the back of it and I put it on. Glue's all squidged out. I made sure I had my other bit on there before I glued this on so I could get it in the right position. Can you see that? Sort of. Can't really do any better than this when it's on the side, but I would do a lot of this, turn it over, pushing it on like this, and I might get a bit of wood. The damage inside this box is unreal. It's unreal. So much paint has come off from offering the thing on. But what this is also doing, while I'm squeezing this down with this bit of wood, it's probably squashing the sides a bit. And that might make it easier to open and close. To get the lid on and off, I mean, you know, just by squishing it all together. I think that's on there pretty well. So let's get a bit of glue. Put this on this bit. The glue in these sides doesn't really take very long. Glue in the top, now that's tricky. I might do that one on the camera. Now I've splodged that glue everywhere, that was a bit of a mess. Now these are a little bit tricky because you've got on the corners here, you've got all that masking tape and the extra paper covering, so it's not actually flat, these corners, so you're having to kind of wodge these onto a bit that actually isn't flat. Now push it on. Now again, putting these on, so it's making the walls, it's making these, that's 6mm thick now, massively thick, you know, it's really strong, you know, there's still a bit of play in it, but there's not much play in it. Right, I've got that on, so I'll keep going round, but I'll keep checking that because it'll probably come off, but that's it basically. I'll carry on. Right, so I've done the ends, and I'm about to do the long side. Now the long side has got this gap in here, so what would it look like if I push that gap together? Would that look better like that? I think it looks better like that, but I'm, you know, going to think about it, and then I'm thinking about, can I get something in there, so I'm just going to have a think. I'll just pause it while I have a think. I don't imagine I can, but I'll have a think. So I worked out there was something I could put in there, but do I like it? Now, that's what I put in there. I put the age, players and the time. It's always nice to have on a box, especially on the outside. I don't like it in there. Ugh. I don't like that in the middle. It just breaks up my line. Do you know it goes nicely along and then it goes and then it goes don't like that. So what's it like this way? It looks better like that. Don't know, it's a real tough decision. It's out of interest, there's no harm in trying things. When do I put it there? So I'm just trying it in all the positions. Now that actually looks quite good. Right, I'm going to sit and think about that for a cup of tea. I might actually try and incorporate that. I mean, I think that kind of bulks out that whole side and gets rid of that that hole. But maybe, you know, so let's just go back to the hole. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Put that in. Right. I actually quite like that. I'll have to think about it. Make a cup of tea. Right, I'm having my cup of tea. And the other sip, that was enough. I like it. I like it like that. I really like it like that actually, because it frames the El Grande big box there. I like it, as opposed to on the edges where, yeah, it's very hard for me to do this. Opposed to that edge, which is nice. It looks a bit plain now. There's something about that. There's something about that that looks really good. I never expected that. So again, this just goes to show, when I was doing my plans and thinking, what am I going to do, surprises come up. You take it slow, think, oh, what about this though? Try this, try this, try this, and suddenly says something you never thought about comes up. So I'm going to cut out the other bit and I'm going to glue it out. See you in a bit. Right, this is 2 seconds later. Now, I would always try and cut this other bit out before gluing this one on. Because if I buggered this up, for whatever reason, then the sides will look unbalanced and I would have already glued it on. So I always make sure, especially on the opposite sides, that I've got all the bits before I glue them on. Right, so I've got all that glued up. Now, I think that looks mighty fine. I'm delighted. So I've gone from having loads of problems with these sides, and ever since I thought about building this box, these sides have been one of the things, apart from the top, that's really been bugging me. How's that going to look? How am I going to do it? And I've done it, and I'm delighted. I've got rid of all the problems. Not all of them, you know. I mean, you know, they're still a bit, when you look close, they're still a bit rough, but you can't really see them. I'm starting to not see them at all, and I'm delighted with that, how that's come out. But we still got the elephant in the room. What's this thing? Now you can see how it looks a lot better with the sides on, but you can see that doesn't look that good. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chamfer it, because that always makes it look better. So I'm going to do that. I'll turn the camera off, so it's taking a couple of minutes. Now I've gone quite hard on that chamfer. It looks a little bit better. But it doesn't look great in all honesty. It needs the blue. It needs the blue border. It really needs the blue border. I don't know what to do about that. Now, I've thought of a couple of things. I think I could probably remedy this bit. Maybe a little bit. This I don't know what to do, and this I don't know what to do. My girlfriend's quite good with painting. Maybe she'd be able to do something with that. Actually obliterate this. Maybe. Now I did think, right, because it looks just let's have a look what it looks like through the camera. Doesn't look quite so bad there, does it? Excuse me. I think it's that dust from wearing a mask. Actually doesn't look bad at all, actually. It looks a lot better on the picture than it does. Now, I've still got this Z-Man problem down here. Now I did think of actually cutting out a little semicircle there, a quarter circle. Now if I cut the quarter circle out and put something in there, it doesn't matter what it is, anything. Even if I put 13 plus or anything, that would just break it. That would just break it up a bit. God, I just wish if that wasn't there, that would look a damn sight better. How can I don't know what I can do with that. Can I scrape it away? It's got to be foolish to think about scraping that away. I'll just have a little really light scrape. Don't know about that. It's worse now. Not sure about that. I'm going to have to think about all these things. I'm going to pause it. Right, I thought I've been mucking around for about an hour and a half. Thought I'd say what I've been doing. So, I've not been happy with kind of how this looks. It didn't quite look right. But I've made a few changes. I don't know if you can see them, and I'm still in the process of doing it. But I was worried about all the way that those things went off. And what I've been doing is I've been scraping them off. Because this is actually kind of white here and it's just sort of cloudy, I thought I might actually get away with scraping them off. Right, and I started off here and I just scraped the top of that off. Right, and then I used a little black pen to make it look like the letters ending. And I did the same here. Originally this one went right off the top. I've just scraped that off, and sure, it looks a bit incongruous there the way it's going, but it looks better than it going off the end. And then I still had this weird little twiddly bit. I'm in the process of scraping that off. Now if I can get rid of that, it might not be too noticeable. And that's one problem sort of half sorted. I also mucked around thinking what would it look like, with some blue around the edge if I actually drew a border on with a blue pen. And I'm not sure about it. But I thought about that, and then I thought about this scraping, so I thought I'd do this scraping thing first. But what I've done on this is the bottom of the box, very poorly. I just drew one on to see what it might look like. Don't know, I'm not convinced. I'm trying all these things because I don't feel quite... I didn't feel quite happy about it, but now I'm doing this, I'm feeling happier. I'll keep working away and we'll see where we get. Maybe you just want to watch me a bit. You know, I'm using one of my dead Stanley blades. One of my dead blades. And using the scraping, I'm really going gently. Just easing it down bit by bit by bit by bit. Now, you know, it's still there, but it's not quite imperceptible yet, but it's getting there, it's almost gone. And the ink's gone down quite deep in places. You know, I've almost got rid of it. I'm delighted with this potential solution. Sure, it's going to look a bit rough, but from a distance I think it will look okay, you won't notice it. What a fuss pants I am. I'm such a fuss pants. But I bet I'm not the only fuss pants in the world. I mean, you know, as you say, maybe I should have got someone who was good with paint to try and paint over it, but this isn't the worst solution I ever thought of. You know, I just thought I'd show you me scraping it. I'll keep scraping. Right, look, I've all but got rid of it. And you wouldn't even notice. I'm delighted with that. Delighted. Now what I might try, I'm just practicing on this box. I've got this blue pen. It's a bit of a weird type pen, but I'm going to put a little dot of it on my finger and just lick it. See, if I put a dot on there and lick it, I could maybe just blend that into the clouds a bit. I might just try a tiny bit of that. Let's just try a tiny bit of it. Blend that into the clouds. It's very subtle. Just a little bit of bluish ink. I'm delighted with that. Right, that's that problem sorted. I'm delighted. Now that was such a radical thought. Now that looks better already. Just for taking those bits out. That makes it look like it's a proper box. Now, God, that makes it look so much better. And now, still got this Z-Man problem. Been thinking about cutting that semicircle out. I can't find anything to put in it. The only thing I can find is on the back of this box. It's this Hans im Glück. But that's square, it's not round. There's that Z-Man sign as well, I don't know. Nothing on the sides, it's a shame. Not sure. I'll carry on thinking for a bit. I mean, I have still got these, you know, I could put something. It's a shame that I've kind of chopped the tops of them off. Might get that boat in there. But am I going to worry about that Z-Man thing? Maybe I could scrape it off again. Don't know, let's pause it and see. Alright, I'll show you what I'm doing here. I did think, so I'm dealing with this Z-Man thing now. Initially I thought, well, you know, because I had this idea to cut the corner off, like in a circle. It's really a rough circle. I don't know if you can see that. I thought, That would look really nice. If I could find something to go in there. I can't find anything to go in there. So I thought what I'd do, I've just been doing what I did up here. I've just sort of scraped really roughly, just so you can't see the Z-Man thing. And then using these pens I've got, just, you know, I'm just scribbling in here. Got a bit of toilet paper, so I'm just scribbling in and just blending some colours in. It's going to look a bit of a random mess, but it's fine, I don't mind. You wouldn't notice it, you just think, give the paper a little lick. Yeah, it doesn't quite look right, but I've got brown here, but the brown doesn't smudge very well. Maybe if I put a bit on my finger it might be good. Lick it. It needs a bit brown in there. Scuzz it up. It's not bad, that little, actually doesn't work too bad if I stick it on my finger. And then just needs a hint of it, that's all. Especially down the bottom there, it's a bit too yellow down there. Scuzz it up. I can't believe what I'm doing here, it's unbelievable. I've never done anything like this before on a board game box. This is new to me. Oh, I don't think that looks too bad. I think that looks pretty damn good. Tidy up my chamfer a bit because that's got a bit messy. I've got ink all over it and stuff. Now it doesn't look too bad, does it? I've just scraped it off and put a scuzzy whole bit in there now. Oh, right. And I thought about putting a blue border around it. I'm not going to do it. I'm quite happy with that. Now I've got with all the bits off that make it look like it's been cut badly. This is still poor, but it's not too bad. I'm damn so happy with that. That actually looks like that could be the original, an original cover. So I need to glue it on. So I'm going to pause it to tidy up a bit. I mean, look at my work desk there. Look, I mean, that's just complete and utter chaos. So I'm going to tidy that up and then try and glue this top on, and we'll be getting there. I'll pause it. Right, so I'm going to glue this lid on, well, this picture on. Now, I'm not actually going to show you me doing it because it takes ages, but just be aware. Oh god, that's just like way too much glue. But when I put it on, there's going to be lots of rubbing, turning it over and rubbing and pushing. And it, you know, it could well take me 5 minutes to put this on. I'm not going to bother showing you. It's just, you just put the glue on and bung it on, but just be aware it's not easy. Right, I'm just going to put this on, just what I'm doing. I've glued it, well, you know, I put glue on it, and I've just put it on and I've put it in the right place. And I just thought, after all these hours, what's the point of not showing you this last little stage? After all these endless hours. Now, if you stay till the end, if you watch these videos and you stay to the end, you have my admiration. No one has. No one has. But even if one has, if you're the one person that has, and you're interested in this, one person, then I'm happy. One person gets something out of these epic videos, that's all I care about really. Help one person have a good life. So, I'm just pushing down with a block of wood here. It's going to constantly want to be rising up. Got to get around the edge. I actually think this has gone on quite easily. Squeeze the glue out. I'm wary of pushing too hard down there because I don't want to dish it. Right, there you see me in now. I'll just be doing this, going over and over and over, and probably in a minute the corner's going to lift up or something. I'm so pleased I did those. Scraping, that's just completely new. It's revolutionised. You've seen so much on these videos of me learning. Well, I'm going to stop it now, just while I finish this off. I'll come back in a minute. Right, so there it is, my El Grande box. It's not quite finished yet. Tomorrow I'll give it a light spray with a matte varnish because I want to protect this. But you know, it's still a bit stiff, but it's coming off. There's all the bits in it, you've seen all that. And then if I get my power grid, which is my other standard box, that's the size that I've been going to for my standard size. And you can see those, that's what they'll look like on the shelf. Lovely. Lovely, I'm very happy with that. So, it's pretty much the end. I'm going to do one more video just where I sum up and talk a few things, bit of waffle, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're the one person who's watched and you've got something out of this. There's mistakes. I'm no master, but you might have got something out of it. Goodbye. Thank you.